Good morning guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to Suzuki in Worthing. Now I've just picked up the keys here for the latest 2020 version of the Suzuki Swift. Now this is a very competitive segment of the market. The car's parked just around the corner, so we're going to go and have a look at it. So here we go, this is the 2020 version of the Suzuki Swift. Now, one thing I need to clear up about this, it is the Generation 4, which is the latest version, but it actually came out in 2016 and shares the same platform as the Ignis. But what has changed over the past few months is the engine that's fitted to this. We've got the traditional petrol up front, but it has now got the addition of a mild hybrid system. I'm not going to go into too much detail at the moment about what a mild hybrid system is, but all you need to worry about, it should give you better fuel consumption and ultimately save you a few more pounds in your pocket. So we're going to hop into the car. We're going to discuss what the Suzuki Swift has to offer. We'll talk about costs, driving, the overall experience of owning a Swift, because this is a very competitive market, and hopefully give you guys everything you need to know about the brand new Suzuki Swift fitted with a mild hybrid system. Welcome to the inside of the Suzuki Swift. It's actually quite a comfortable place to be, but we'll explore this car together. I've got it for the next couple of days, and let's see how we get on. So I want to connect my phone first of all. Got an iPhone, and luckily as standard this comes with both Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, no extra whatsoever, so that's fantastic. This is the middle of the range model, the SZ-T, so it doesn't actually come with the sat nav, but you can use your phone for that. I think loads of people, including myself, use Waze or Google Maps. So let's buckle up and take this out on the road, and like I said, we'll explore this car together. I've not driven it, not poked around at all, so it's all going to be a brand new learning experience, and I think this is the ideal way really to get to know what a car is like and how intuitive it is. So luckily it's a small car, which is fantastic, so nice and easy to drive and reverse. We've got a parking reverse camera, which comes on this model as standard, which is, again, for a car of this size, that is very impressive. And in terms of money, let's get that bit out the way first of all. This particular model, the SZ-T Hybrid, is £12,570, which is good value anyway. But at the moment, if you get yourself down to a Suzuki in Worthing, they're doing 20% off, so that's the VAT gone, and also Suzuki are giving another £1,000 off the price of the vehicle. So this is starting to become a very good proposition, and this is before we've actually looked at it, so I may be jumping to conclusions already. I've got the figures down here, so PCP put down £1,453. I've no idea exactly why it's 1,453, a bit of a random number there, and then you only pay £149 a month. £149, that is an absolute bargain in my eyes. More and more manufacturers are bringing out hybrid versions of their cars, and Suzuki have joined that group of manufacturers by creating this hybrid version of the Suzuki Swift. So what exactly does this mean for you as a driver? How do you use it, and how does it work? For you as a driver, it improves your fuel efficiency, so you're going to get better MPG. Better MPG means less time at the petrol station and more money in your pocket to spend on something a bit more interesting. How do you use it? It sounds very technical. Well, you don't do anything other than drive. It's a very non-intrusive system, and you wouldn't know that you're using it or even have it fitted other than the hybrid badge on the back of the car. And one of the options on the trip computer, you can see which power source is being used. So this, well, I can't see anything other than benefits from having this, and it also decreases your CO2 emissions, which is even better for the environment, and also I think it will drop your road tax down. So next, how does this hybrid system work? I find this absolutely fascinating. Sorry if you guys don't, maybe skip forward about 4 minutes and you can not worry about how it works. But I'll try and keep this as simple as possible, probably because I don't know everything about it. But we've got 2 batteries fitted to this car. We've got your standard lead battery up front, and we've got an additional lithium-ion battery which is used just to drive the electric motor. Fantastic. So how does this actually work? When are you using it? When you come to a stop, the engine will also stop as part of the stop-start technology fitted to the car. Now, in a traditional car, the starter motor would kick back in and fire up the engine again, which again uses fuel. This uses the electric motor to turn over the engine and get going. It makes it quieter as well, which is, well, it's only a good thing. After that, when you pull away and you're under acceleration, both the petrol and electric motor are used. So again, under acceleration, that is where the most fuel is going to be used, so ultimately where we can have the biggest savings. So great, we've got this electric motor, we've got this extra battery, I'm saving money. How do I go about charging this battery? Well, it uses something called regenerative braking. That means when you brake or you coast, it turns the electric motor, which in turn uses the kinetic energy to charge the battery. So you have to do absolutely nothing. There doesn't seem to be any downside of having a hybrid. It's just a benefit. Saving money, better for the environment. It also makes the car drive a bit smoother. It's got some clever tech going on as well to use both electric and petrol at certain times. So I don't know why you wouldn't want a hybrid car. It is just very, very good. It's very seamless, and you just use it. So that is what a hybrid system is all about, what it means to you and how it works. At last the weather has been kind to us. The sun has come out and we found somewhere to park up so we can have a look at the outside of this car. So what's new about this Swift in terms of styling? Well, overall it is a fun looking car. Right at the front we've got a rather large Suzuki badge. We've got the mesh type grille. I think on some models you can have an aluminium trim running around it. We've got daytime running lights and fog lights, and one of the traits of the Suzuki Swift is the windscreen. It's a curved round, so it just gives it, well, from the front I just think quite a fun styling. If we head round the side, we've got 16-inch Bridgestone alloys on this. If you go for the flagship model you can upgrade those and they come with diamond cut. But even so, like this, I think they look rather nice. We'll start off this nice swage line that runs from the front headlight, runs down the side through the door handle and wraps itself round into the rear tail light. We've also got this slight crease again, runs from the front wheel arch, goes through and into the rear wheel arch. It just makes it, well, just a bit nicer, a bit less boxy. The roof as well, again, this is a Swift trait. It's got an ever so slightly decreasing angle on there, so it just drops ever so slightly and just looks quite nice. Now, door handles, you may be wondering, Hang on, where have they gone? They're actually up here. They're in this black area and it just gives it a more sleek look. What this is actually gives you the option, well, the look is a floating roofline, as they've called it. Not sure it looks floating, but it does look pretty good. So let's hop in the back quickly. We'll have a look at rear passenger room. So we'll open it up, climb inside. Now I've left the seat where my passenger was sitting. He's sort of 6 foot, and I've got plenty of room. I mean, in terms of headroom as well, I've got a few inches above me. I'm 6 foot. Yeah, it's just quite comfortable. We've got Isofix as well, so it's great for a family. We've got a small door bin, which you could fit a very small bottle of water in it. This model comes with good old-fashioned manual winders for the window. Again, next model up comes with electric. Yeah, there's not a lot going on in here, but it is a relatively basic car that does everything you want. So let's have a look around the rear of the car. In terms of styling, it looks pretty cool. We've got lots of creases and curves here, and it makes it stand out quite a bit, I think, from some of its competition. We've got a reversing camera just under here. Hybrid badge, obviously, as this, well, is a hybrid. Let's have a look in the boot. The handle is under there, if I can get it open. We've got 265 litres of space, 2 tethering points here, a little hook here and a light. It doesn't actually come with a full-size spare tyre. It's got a foam puncture repair kit thing, and also a pump. You plug it into your cigarette lighter and it will pump the tyre. So that's the outside of the Swift. I don't know what you guys think. Do you like the look of it? Put in the comments down below. So now we've had a look, let's head on off and we'll keep having a discussion about various aspects of the car. So let's have a chat about the tech in this car. This is the mid-range model. So the main thing to me is the infotainment system. So we've got this screen over on the central dash here. It's all touchscreen. Now we can go back to the home screen. So from there you've got 4 tiles. You've got a DAB radio, you've got a way of calling your phone, a media, and in this case at the moment I've got my iPhone connected, so I've got all of the Apple CarPlay features available to me. This particular mid-range model doesn't come with sat-nav. You have to go up, I think, to the next model. In fact, it's actually an optional extra. So if you do want the sat-nav built into you can do. So over on the steering wheel we've got a number of controls that can interact with the infotainment system. We've got a way of picking up and putting down the phone, and it also comes with speech recognition. I've not had to play around with this, but if it's anything like the Vitara I reviewed, I'll put a card just up here on that, you could interact with the sat nav. That was the main feature I'd use it for. So you could say, oh, I think there was a gear there somewhere. Yeah, so you could say direct me to wherever. That sort of thing I find incredibly good and a nice safety feature. So you can say direct me to home or some sort of point of interest. So what has this 2020 Swift got to offer me in terms of creature comforts? Well, before we talk about that, let's remember what this car is and where it sits. The Super Mini segment is very, very competitive. So there are some compromises made in order to keep that price point down. So what have we got? We have a 12 volt power supply, an auxiliary in and a USB port where my phone is plugged into at the moment, just under the air conditioning unit. Now, something which is a bit strange is the cup holders. We have 2 of those, fantastic, don't have a problem with that, but they're square. Why on earth have they made square cup holders? Maybe it's something that I'm missing out on life, is square cups, but I've not seen them before. I do have a small thermos flask thing, and that fits in very well. It does wobble slightly, but as long as you're not flinging it around a racetrack, that's not going anywhere. You've got two of those, so that's fantastic. A couple of reasonable sized door bins, again, let's see if that will fit. Yeah, fits no problem at all in each side. Got a glove box, not sure what to say about that really. It's a glove box, reasonable size, huge manual in there, probably written in 1,000,001 different languages. But overall, it's functional. It does everything that you could want. No, it doesn't have heated and cooled cup holders. There are a few extra things I would have liked to see, maybe some sort of central storage area. But in terms of where it sits in price, I think it is very, very good. We're heading on to the A27, which is a dual carriageway, and I think this will give us a good opportunity to experience the road noise this little car has. We're sitting on 16-inch wheels, 1.2 litre engine with this small electric motor as well. So let's see how well insulated it is. I'm definitely expecting some road noise, so I'm going to be quiet. We'll get up to speed. I might need to drop it down, so put my foot down. It's no performance car, but I'm hoping once we get up to the speed limit it should be nice and comfortable. So there we go, accelerated, and now we're at 70 miles an hour. So I'm going to be quiet for a minute and you can see what the cabin noise is like. There we go, that's some silence for a minute. Well, that's not bad at all. The road noise isn't too loud. It's certainly not silent, but impressively, this little 1.2 litre engine up front is doing a very, very good job. It's not screaming out, sounding like it's in pain. Now we're off of the dual carriageway. We've headed into the town of Lewes. Now, a car like this will probably spend an awful lot of time driving around towns and cities. It's basically what it's built for, although it is perfectly happy doing longer journeys, as we've just heard. So let's see what it's like in terms of road noise. So now I'll take my foot off the clutch and it stopped completely. And all you can hear is people outside. It's a bit eerie, this sort of thing, so we'll wait for the lights to change. This is when the electric motor kicks in, starts the engine and helps when pulling away. So let's be quiet again and see what it's like at slow speeds in terms of noise. Again, that's pretty good. Oh, it's getting very narrow. I'm glad I'm in a small car. People pulling out randomly. Does feel quite nimble, this as well. I mean, we'll take it out and find some more exciting roads a bit later on and see whether one of the awards, the best driver's car in the segment, whether it deserved that. The Suzuki Swift is supposed to be a fun, light and agile car, and we need to put this to the test well as much as we can on the public roads. So I've headed out of town onto some of my favourite back roads that are particularly tight and twisty, and at the moment very muddy and very wet, to try and see what the handling and the dynamics of this car are like. And it might not be a particularly powerful, sporty version of the car. The Sport, I think, is due out in the next month or so. But it should still be a fun little car to drive. So the suspension setup on this is sort of a in-between house. It's firm enough to be fun, but not a true sporty setup. And at the moment, I'm really pleased with that. These roads are particularly nasty. They're sort of very undulating, huge potholes everywhere, and having a slightly softer suspension set up is definitely beneficial. But the thing I really like is it's such a small and light car that it definitely feels like you're going quicker than you are. That's something about a small car. You can be pushing on and use 8/10 of the car and not actually be going anywhere near the speed limit. These big and powerful performance cars, you can probably drive at 1/10 and you've broken the law. To be honest, I'm impressed with this. It's riding these bumps really well. Possibly the steering I might want a bit heavier. In town it's absolutely perfect, but on the back roads, could do with a bit more weight behind it. So the more and more I drive this car, the more impressed I am with it. The handling on it is very good. Obviously on track you're gonna get a better idea, but these back roads, it's handled everything I've thrown at it. I wouldn't want to be going any quicker. I've been driving well under the speed limit at times because you just can't go any quicker, and it's just enjoyable. You can feel everything that's going on. The steering, I think, yes, could be a bit heavier. That would be quite nice, but because it's a light car, you can place it so much better. There's not a huge amount of body roll either. So I'm really looking forward to the Sport when that comes out. If it's this and dialed up to 11, that is going to be an absolutely brilliant car. So what are my final thoughts on this Suzuki Swift? I've got to say I'm very impressed with it. Considering this is £149 a month and you get a car that looks modern, it drives well, it's practical, it's great for driving around towns, it's nimble, it's nippy. It's just a great car. There are some things which let it down, but I do forgive it because of the price point. It hasn't quite got as much technology that I'd want. Maybe the model above would be a better bet for you. Some of the plastics as well, they do feel a bit cheap, but it's a very well put together car. So yes, I'm saying this is a very good car. Just test drive it and make that decision for yourself. I'm going to call this video to a close. It's been a great couple of days I've had with this Suzuki Swift, and thank you to Suzuki in Worthing for allowing me to have the car. If you have enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Any questions you might have, please put in the comments down below, and remember to click on the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.